Unit number 6 question. And here the question number 1, that is a text file containing multiple lines of text. Write a Python program to count the total number of lines, count the total number of words and the vowels. Example is given here, like we have a text file sample.txt having Python is easy, programming is fun, welcome to help you as a text. So output should be line is 3 and words are 9. Sorry, here 8 is wrong, and the vowels are 14. So how to make program for this? Let's check. The output given here are wrong. Please don't consider these output as a correct output, because these are uh, wrong output. By default, I mentioned here. We will check what should be the output here now. So now let's check how to make the program for this. First of all, I will create a text file. To make text file, I will simply open the new file and make once.txt file having Python is easy, programming is fun, and welcome to LPU text. Then what I will do, I will simply write here. First of all, I will open the file. So to open the file, I will use open keyword. I can also open with statement, but here I will take a variable x equal, then I will open, then the brackets, then the file name in double quotes, that is once.txt, and the file you are making, the text file, should present in the same folder where you are making this py folder. After that, what I will do, I will mention the mode of working. Let consider I have to work here, I have to read here, so that's why I am giving here read mode. Then the bracket close. Colon is not important, but if you mention, there is no problem. Now what I will do, I will create a L for counting L variable equals 0 for counting lines, W variable for counting words, and V for vowels, and initialize with 0. Now what I will do, I will use for loop for lines in X. No need of X dot lines here. It is only need to mention X here. We will check first, then I will tell you why. There is no need to write here X dot lines, because whatever we are opening in the read mode is directly inserted into initialize into X variable. That's why I am writing here 4 lines in X. So what will happen? It will count each line and plus 1 in L variable. Then word plus equal length of line. So whatever the length of line is, line dot split. So what will happen? The first line, that is Python is fun. Let's consider first line is Python is fun. So it will break lines dot split break into these words into a list and make a list. So length of that list must be 3. So words are 3. That's why the 3 will be plus added into the word variable. Now what will the next process is, we are using for char in lines. So what will happen? It will check each character from the line that if it is present in A E I O U. If it is present in the A E I U, it will plus one in vowel variable, that is V plus one. So for better output, I will mention here lines dot lower. What will happen? It will convert each line into lowercase. Then it will count the vowels. Then what will I do? I will simply print the number of vowels, number of lines, and the number of words. So here I am mentioning lines L, then print words, then the words variable, that is W. Again, I am saying that there is no need to mention any colon at the end of each line. But here, if I am mentioning, there is no need, there is no compulsory that you have to uh, put semicolon after every line. So that vowels and then the comma V variable. Now let's check the output. Before that, I have to close the file. So every time whenever I am opening the file, I have to close it. So here it should be x dot close. Now let's check the output. So after running, I'm getting the output, that is lines are wait. I just forgot to do a thing. Now let's run again. So lines are 3, words are 9, and vowels are 14. That is correct because these outputs are wrong. That is given here. These are wrong. From where I put these questions. These output have been mentioned wrong. So let's check. So lines are 3. Then if we count the words, so 3 in first line, then 3 in second line, and 3 words in last line. So it should be 9 here. Let's check whether the output is correct or not. Yes, it is 3, 9, and 14. Ultimately, our output is correct. So the next question is to make a file containing one integer per line, copy only the even numbers into another file. So here I have to make two files, that is input text file and output text file. Example is given here, like we have a numbers.txt and having different integer, that is 10, 15, 18, 27, and 42. And output file is 10, 18, 42. That is the even number. So first of all, I will create a input text file having these numbers 10, 15, 18, 27, and 42. Then I will save this as a txt file in my folder. So I'm taking tech input.txt. In the same folder I am saving. Now let's start making the program. First of all, I will create a variable x. Initialize with, I will open the file, open double quotes the file name, that is input.txt. Then the mode I have to work here. So mode I have to use here is read, because I need to read the output. So I have to read mode, use read mode here. Then I will use for loop for lines in X. So whenever the lines will come, it will check whether the integer value of that line is correct or not. So for getting output, I will creating here output.txt, output.txt. In the same folder, I have made input.txt. I am making output.txt. Then before that, what I have to do, I have to open the output.txt in write mode, because I have to read read the lines from X file, that is input.txt, and I have to write them into Y file, that is output.txt. So that's why I'm opening here with a mode of writing. So after accessing each lines, what I will do, I will convert each line integer value into int lines dot split strip. So what lines dot strip will do, it will remove all the unnecessary backslash and these spaces in the lines. Then it will convert into integer value, and then it will assign into num variable. After that, it will check whether the number is even or not. If it is even, then it will write into the y variable, that is output.txt, y dot write num. After writing the num variable, what it should write? It should write the num variable in string form, because we can write the variable only in the form of a string. We can store the variables in the output.txt. So that's why I have to convert here the integer value into string value. Then I have to close both the files. So if I will run here, so let's check. So here it is showing an error, that is take exactly one argument. So here input, this is correct. Yeah, this is the problem. I have to write here plus sign, because we are concatenating two strings. So it should be plus here. So let's check the working. So let's check the output.txt whether the even numbers are there or not. Yes, 18, 10, 42. So these are the outputs. Basically, these are the even number. So output file containing 10, 18, and 14 after running the program. So this is the program for this question. You can do these questions in your Python compiler as well for better understanding. Now we will do next question. And the next question is to find the longest word present in a text file. I will use here input.once.txt, the same file I have been used before. So I will open ones.txt. In the read mode because I have to access the words from that file. That's why I'm opening it with the mode of read and initializing with. Then what I will do, I will access each lines by using for loop, for lines in X, then the colon. Before that, I have to make a variable that is longest equal then the string, empty string. It will help me to grab the longest word from the lines. So what will I do? I will simply use word words equal lines dot split. So what it will return? It should be split, not strip. So line dot split will return a list of all the words and assign it into the words variable. After that, I will access each word from the words list and check whether the length of that word is greater than the longest length or not. Means I'm checking here the length of word. If it is greater than the length of longest, then what it will do, it will assign the longest variable equal to word, that word. After that, I will print the longest word that assigned into the longest variable. After all, I will just close the file. I open that is X. So now let's run the program. So yeah, here it is I have done a mistake that I write here strip, not split. So it should be split. Now let's check the output. So we are getting programming as an output. That is correct because programming is the biggest word that is stored in the ones.txt file. So this is the program and this is the output. So in the ones.txt, if you remember, programming is the biggest word that is present in that file. So this is the program for these type of questions. Now let's check the answer again. Again, it is showing programming. Now the next question is to make a file containing 101 ones, 102 Aman, 104 Rahul, 103 Rahul, 104 Neha, and take a roll number from the user and display the student's name. If the roll number is not found, print record not found. So to do these type of questions, we have to again, I have to make a txt file. Rather than making txt file, I will use ones.txt again, and I will update the values here, update it with the given string. Now, again, I will open it into X variable, open ones.txt, and I have to use here read mode. That's why again I am using R method here, that is read mode. After that, the question says that I have to take the input from the user first. So what I will do, I will first of all, I will take roll number variable and integer input from the user, that enter the roll number, enter roll number you want to found. Then I will access each lines from the x variable. How to access? I will use for loop for lines in x, for lines in x. After that, we'll use a variable data and check the lines dot split. So what it will do, it will create a list of each word in the single line, in the first line, second line, and the third line. Separate each word and make a list and initialize it into the variable that is data. For that, I will check if the data value of zeroth index in data is equal the value of roll number. So it should print the first index value in the data. That is the name of that roll number. But there is a problem that whenever we are checking data zeroth index, I have to make a variable here that if found equals false, and then I'm making found equal true. So it should be capital F. So if it is found, then it should be initialized with true. So what's the purpose of making this variable? The purpose of making this variable, if we are unable to find that roll number, so it will check if not found. That is, if it is false, it is true. If it is true, then it will write that record not found. What will happen if the found is false? Then it will return if not found is true. Not found is basically true. So not false is true. That's why it will run print record not found. And if it is found, then it will do nothing because not true is false. Like here, I'm using 101, but this is wrong. Yeah, again, we have done, I already told you that I have to use break statement here as well. If we found the variable, just close the loop. Now let's check the output again. Again, it is showing a, yeah, there is a problem. I have already mentioned that whenever we are finding the integer value, but we have stored the values of integers in the form of a string in the files. That's why it is showing an error. So I have removed here the int input. I will simply take input from the user in the string form and check. So 109 is not found, so it will return record not found. So this is the overall program of this question. You can check. So now we will do questions of regular expression. So first question is to create a calculator using exceptional hiding handling requirements. Take two numbers and take these operator. Handle division by zero error and had an invalid operator. So I will use try colon, then a equal integer input from the user, then b equal integer input from the user. Then I will take a operator input. I will take a operator input and ask from the user input. Then I will check whether if the operator is plus sign, then what it will return? It will return a plus b. It will print a plus b. And again, I am saying the semicolon is sorry. The semicolon given here is not important to mention after print a plus b. We can directly use print a plus b. Then I'm checking else if that is elif operator is minus sign, so it will return a minus b. Then I will check if the sign is multiple sign, that is star sign, so it should return print a multiply b, that is a star b. After that it will check, and if the operator is slash, means the output should be the division. So what it will print? It will print a slash b, print a slash b. Then if there is an error, let's consider except division by zero error. So for division by zero, t must be capital here. Zero division, sorry, wait, zero t capital division error e capital. Then colon, what it should print? It should print that number must be greater than zero, or denominator denominator zero is not allowed. Then I will check for except value error. What it will print? It will print invalid operator. So if there is a value error, it will print wrong value. Now let's check the output. So here I'm trying the first variable I'm initializing with 3, and the second I put e, that is the wrong value. Again, first one 2, second one 0. Then I'm using division operator, so it should return denominator 0 is not allowed. Then I will check 1, 2, and the plus operator, that is 3. Now check for subtraction. First variable is 5, second one is 3, so third one the minus sign, it should return 2. Then the last thing I have to check, that is the multiplication. So 4 multiply 3, wait, so 7 multiply 5, then the multiplication sign, that is star, and 7 5 is the 75 35, sorry. So this is the output, and this is the basic program of these type of questions. You can check. For division, it is returning the correct output as well. So this is the program. Many times try except block is used in many times in programs because they are used to handle the exception case and the errors. Now the next question is to extract every email address from a text file. Example, contact us, and here three emails are given. After that, output is all the three emails from that text. So basically, we have to extract all the emails present in a file. So for that, I will simply create a text file. I will use ones.txt and give the same string exact as example given here into ones.txt. Then what I will do, I will import re first to use regular expression. So I have to import re first, then I will open the file in f variable. So I'm opening the file and the file name is ones.txt. Then the read mode. Then I will make a variable x and I will read the whole text into it. What will happen? It will read all the text from the file ones.txt and initialize text in it and store these values into the text variable. Then I will use a emails variable and use re.findAll. So for email, I will use this regular expression. I will tell you what is the purpose of using this. So backslash s plus means that it contains any type of value, integer, data type, float, dot, different signs and uppercase letters, lowercase letters, and plus sign indicates uh, that there is no limit of taking these type of numbers. It can be 8, 9, 10. I don't how much you want. Then the underscore, oh sorry, at the rate, and then one at the rate, and then again dot operator and variables and other things. Then if these type of things appears in the text variable, comma text, then we have to use R here as well. As I used here to indicate that this is the regular expression and this should be this slash, not that slash. Then if we use for loop for E in emails and if we print each E from the emails list, then it will print all the occurrence of these type of regular expression. You can check how it is working. However, these type of questions looks difficult, but these are they are simple and easy to use. You can simply run these type of programs in your Python compiler so that you can understand these questions clearly. And for better understanding, you can do these type of questions from online platform like ChatGPT and Gemini. Take some questions and practice these type of questions for regular expressions. Now, the next question is to validate a password condition minimum 8 characters. One should be uppercase letter and one should be lowercase letter and one should be digit. So for that, I will first of all, I will import re, then I will use password equal, then I will take input from the user that enter password. Then I will make the pattern equal. I will mention what type of pattern I want using R double uh, double quotes and the pattern I want. So here this sign indicates that the first sign indicates that start with. Then I'm mentioning A to Z, means it should contain starting with A to Z variable. Wait, first of all, I will create, then I will tell you what I have done. So this is what I have done. I'm making this pattern that starting with any uppercase letter, lowercase letter, number, and these signs, and the password must be of 8 lines minimum. 8 comma, this bracket indicates that it must be 8 lines minimum, and then this last sign $sign indicates that ending point. Then I am checking if dot rematch. What it will do, it will match the pattern with password. Sorry, it should be password then pattern. So it will check the password with pattern. If it is valid, then it will print valid password. If it is not valid, then it will return invalid password. This is the second method you can do the for pattern. So here question equal dot indicates that it will check whether the pattern contain whether the password contain any one uppercase letter or not. Second, the same question equal dot indicates that the password should contain an lowercase letter, a digit letter, and the last thing indicates that it should contain a digit number from anything given into the brackets. So this is the password I want to create. Let's check it is a valid or not. So it is a valid password. Then again, let's check for a simple password, that is 1234 134456. So it is an invalid password. Again, let's check for a, so it is also an invalid password.